saturated or less saturated, I can do that individually. I could take the bluish hues on here and make those more or less saturated. I can make those brighter or darker, so I want to make the blues brighter or darker, and I can even rotate the hue. I go, you know, I want that to be a little more of a purple chair. Yeah, let's make that chair purple, and let's take that yellow chair and let's make it more green. So you can totally do that. It's just grab the sliders and go. Pretty cool stuff. Now you can do this also, let me reset everything, based off of, let's see here, if we go to the hue slider, all right, so hues, it's just hues, so we're looking at just hues instead of where here you have hue, saturation, and luminance based off the color. On this palette, you have all of your hues, so here's all of my reds. Let's take all my reds and go one way or another. Let's go to my yellows and so on. So basically, it's just breaking it out in different ways. And then there's your saturation and luminance, and again, you're going to see all those same colors in there. So either here's all of my hues, all of my saturation adjustments, all of my luminance adjustments, or here's individual colors. Here's hue, saturation, and luminance for red. Here's hue, saturation, and luminance for yellow. So it's pretty, just some good options in there. Trevor is saying, I don't remember Lightroom black and white conversion being that good before. It looks like they've improved it a lot. I'm pretty sure you have those same controls in the full Lightroom. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but anyway, I'm glad you like it. That's good. Okay, so that was the colors. So then we covered all that. Yeah, we covered all that. All right, Shift R, reset. Now let's move on to effects. What is under effects? Okay, clarity, dehaze, and vignette. Let me go back to this picture because it is gorgeous for this sort of thing. So we go in here. The palette's closing, by the way, I believe this is under general settings. No, where was it? There was one that says to automatically close things. I thought it was under general. Text, oh, panel tracks, automatic. Let's do this. Let me set that to manual. And I think now, yeah, so if I want to leave these open, because I don't know if you noticed what was happening. Every time I opened this one closed, which was starting to bug me. So I'm going to leave it this way now because I don't want those things closing. I'd rather have that be manual. Okay, clarity. So clarity, well, first of all, let's just drag it and slide it. You can see what happens. It's kind of cool. I mean, clarity is one of those things that when Lightroom, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure if history serves my memory well, that made no sense, that this first showed up in Lightroom. And it is essentially, it's a localized micro contrast or micro contrast in the midtones. It's just looking at the mid-range, mid-tone ranges. Micro contrast is it's looking for fine details, is enhancing contrast around those details, which brings up this whole overall sharpness enhancement. It's a really, really cool thing. When this came out, it was like, whoa, this is the one slider to rule them all. You could also tell when people first, you still can, when people first discover the clarity slider, it's like, it goes to 11. Calm. It doesn't need to go that high. You can see if I take this way up, there's a part of it you go, wow, that looks really cool. But you start looking at a bunch of images like this, and then you go, you know, maybe I should back it off a little bit. And you go, oh, yeah, it does look better without too much clarity. It's easy to overdo it. So this is one of those that I always recommend. I mean, this goes for pretty much every adjustment, but especially clarity and sharpening, same thing. If you're going to crank it up, fine, crank it up. But at some point, crank it back down. Just look, you might want to go back up, that's fine. But just bring it back down. And really, do you really want it up that high? Or did you just fall in love with that super high contrast thing? And if you back it off, you go, oh, yeah, it was too much. You know, it's like you get your music turned up too loud, and you're like, what? Music's not too loud. Someone makes you turn it down, fine. You turn it back up again, you're like, oh, okay, maybe that was a little bit too loud. It's just one of those things, just to be aware of it. Shane Ferguson says, same controls, talking about the black and white, just a different interface. New Creative Cloud's interface is certainly more user-friendly with tools easier to find. Yeah, exactly. And Shane, that's funny because that's exactly, so Trevor doesn't remember the tools being that way, and Shane's pointing out, well, they were there. It's just, it is designed to be easier, and case in point, this is exactly it. It is easier. It certainly is. It's a less cluttered interface. It's a cleaner interface. Now, we'll see if they can keep it this clean once they add all the other features back in. That's always the funny thing. We made the interface easier. Well, of course you did. You just took out 90% of the features. Obviously, it's easier when there's only 3 sliders in there. So we'll see what happens when they add everything back in. But I like the UI. I like it. It is very nice and clean and simple. Yeah, I got nothing against it. I think it looks pretty good. We'll see how it evolves. We will see how it evolves. Okay, so that was clarity. So a little clarity.
You've just watched a 5-minute sample of a live training video. To see the rest of it, head to PhotoApps.Expert/live where you can purchase and download it, or sign up as a member. Members can stream any live training video as often as they like and have access to video tips and other exclusive member bonuses. To learn more about membership, head to PhotoApps.Expert/member.